this question you are very familiar with already, because the reason why I actually want to break this video into two parts is because the previous video, right, we are mainly talking about units, but in this video I introduce you something called parts. And then how do you know that I have to use this type of method to solve problems like this rather than the type of methods to solve the problems in the first video? Okay, so you should be very familiar with the sentence here. I know that the number of 20 cents to the number of 50 cents is having a ratio of 4 is to 11. And then I add 12 20 cents, so I add 12 coins. And another 9 and another 50 cent coin, and another 50, add another 9 50-cent coin. So another 9 coins here actually give me a ratio of 1:2. So same, this time round ask yourself, anything the same? Here is not the same, here is not the same, correct or not? The number of coins, of 20-cent coins, is not the same. Number of, I mean the beginning and the end, when comparing the beginning and the end is here. Oops. Correct, it's not the same because I add 12 cent coins already, so it's not the same. What about the 50-cent coins? Is it the same? No, because here I add 9 coins already, so it's not the same. And then I ask myself, will the total number of coins be the same? Definitely not, right? Because over here I add 12 and over here I add 9. So the end number of coins that I should have is higher than my beginning, right? So total number of coins not the same. Then I ask, what about the difference between the 20 cent and the 50-cent coins? Is it the same? And obviously you know that it won't be the same because here I add more than here, correct or not? So their difference, the beginning and the end will not be the same. Okay, so difference in number of coins is not the same. So for now, because all of this is not the same, I know that this, in order to solve this problem, it will not be the same as how I used to solve the previous problems. So I will have two unknown. Over here is unit, and then over here is parts. Okay, so I have 4 units at 12 will become 1 part. 11 units at 9 will become 2 parts, correct? So how can I go about doing this? I have 2 unknown here. I have unknown here is unknown. Here is the unit unknown, and also the parts unknown. Units and parts unknown. Okay. So how can I go about doing this? I can go about doing this is I can either change the unit to be the same, or I change the parts to be the same. So for this, I change the parts to be the same because here is 1 and 2, so it's very easy for me to change, right? So I just change the parts to be the same. So here times 2. If here is times 2, means that over here it must times 2, and over here it must times 2. Okay? But there's no need for you to multiply here. If this is very confusing, let me draw this. 20 cents. At the start, right, I have 4 units. Plus 12 coins. coins, and then here is 1 part. So the 50-cent one, I have 11 units. Here's 11 units. Here's 4 units. 4 units. And then here is 7 units. And then I will have 9 coins because I add in 9 coins. Correct. And then here is actually 2 parts. So what I need to do is I make this whole thing to become 2 parts. If I make this whole thing to become 2 parts, right? I here times 2, here times 2, and here times 2. Correct? If I do this, I will have a new figure here. Four times 2 is 8, right? Here's how you put 9 coins. Okay, so here I have 8 units. So here is 4 units, 4 units. And then I will have 24 coins. Correct or not? 24 coins. If 24 minus 9 will actually give me 15 coins. Why do I want to do so? Because over here is 9 coins, right? 9 coins. Over here will be how many coins? 15 coins. And then here this total out to be 24 coins. And actually it's 2 parts with 2 parts. So here is 2 parts, right? Okay, so here is the model drawing for this. If you feel confused, you can slowly try and replay, draw, and then see how it makes sense for you, okay? Then you can clearly see. If I do this for you, here's 4 parts, right? So here is 4 units and here is 3 units. You can clearly see that 3 units is actually equals to 15 coins. Correct or not? So 3 units is equals to 15 coins. And then it's asking you 1 unit equals to 5 coins, right? You know that. Okay, go back to the question. Again, want to highlight. It's asking you how much money. Because now along we are still counting the number of coins. It's not the money yet, right? But I know that 1 unit is actually 5 coins. So let me go back here. It's asking how much money is there in the back in the end. So in the end, right, you know that it's actually 4 unit at 12 unit will be equals to 1 part. So I just use this for the 20-cent one, So it's 4 unit at 12 coins equals to 1 part. Okay, for the 50 cent one, you see that it's 11 units at 9 coins equals to 2 parts. Okay, then we can start doing our calculation. 4 times 3. Why times 3? Because you know that, sorry, it's not times 3, it's times 5. Because you know that 1 unit is equals to 5 coins. Bracket it, so you won't be confused. Okay, so I know that 4 times 5 is 20. You need to do this, the bracket first. Okay, wherever you see bracket, you must do the bracket first. If there's no bracket, then you do the times and divide. Then you do according to the sequence. Don't anyhow use this 5 going to add 12 and then you go and times 4. It don't work like that. Okay, so I will have one part will have 32 coins. Okay, still now we are still doing coins, right? But I know that 1 coin is 20 cents. Because in the end, you know that my 20 cents is 1 part only, right? So I have 32 coins. So it'll be 32 times 20 cents will give me a value of 640 cents. So this is cents, so I just convert it to be $6.40. Okay, so let's do the 50 cent portion. 50 cent portion, 11 times 3, bracket it, plus 9 equals to 2 parts. Because in the end, I have 2 parts for the 50 cent one. Correct or not? So it will be 33 at 9 equals 2 parts. I will have 64 coins. 64 50 cent coin in the end. Okay, so I know that 1 coin is equals to 50 cents. If 64 coins will give me 64 times 50 will be 3,200 cents, which is equivalent to $32. So you have to add out the 20 cent and the 50 cent to get the money, right? So you can write a sentence. The money in the end is $6.40 at $32 will give you a value of, use your calculator, please don't just copy when you're do together. Okay, it's $38.40. So this is the amount of money left in the end in the back. Okay, remember, in the end I have this, and then this unit, and then this is part. Okay, I'm now going to another question that is similar but also not so similar. Okay, I want you to spot what is the difference, and then this time round a similar method will be used but something different. So it's this question again. You may feel that it's very familiar, but read through the question carefully, because in terms that sometimes you do a lot of questions, then you say, this one since I did before, then I just go and memorize and put whatever working that I did from my previous question, and then expect teachers to give me right. No, because math is more about application. Once they change a little bit things, the whole answer will be totally different. Okay, so number 20 cent to 50 cent is 4. Ratio 4 is 11. Just do it again. 20 cent, 50 cent. Ratio is 4, 11. This part still the same as the previous question. Then I add 12 20-cent coins. So here I add 12 coins. But then here I remove 9 coins. Remove 9 coins. You see? And I have an end ratio of still 1:2. Can you see the difference? Here is remove. Okay? Here both sides is I add and another add, correct? Here is add and add. But then the other side here is remove. Okay, go through the process. First ask yourself, the number of coins, of 20-cent coins, at the beginning and the last, is it the same? And the end, here is beginning. Here is the end. The end is 1:2. So it's not the same. I cannot use this to help me to solve the problem. What about the number of coins of 50-cent coins? From the beginning to the end, is it the same? Obviously not, right? Because I minus 9 coins. So how can that number be the same? Okay. So what about the total number of coins? For the beginning and the end, is it the same? Obviously not. Because here I add and here I deduct. How can it be the same? The number of coins can never be the same because I add more than I deduct. So cannot be the same also. Then what about the difference in the number of coins? Is it possible to be the same? No, right? If the difference can be the same, it's only when I add and minus the same number of coins. No, not add and minus the same number of coins. It's if I add and minus, if I add and then minus the same number of coins, my total will be the same. If I want the difference to be the same, I must either add the same number of coins or I minus the same number of coins. But you see here, it's different. The number I add here 12 and I minus not here 9. So it's not the same. It's not the same. So I know that in this case I will have 2 unknown. This is a unit and then this will be parts. Okay? When you have two unknown like this, I want to make them the same. So it's more easy for me to calculate. How to calculate the answer. Okay? Let me do this. Just draw. Let's say 20 cent. It's 4 unit, right? 4 units. And 12 coins. Just anyhow, 12 coins. Units, 12 coins. 50 cent will be 11 units. Units and then take away 9 coins. So okay, never mind. I will just 11 unit and then I must take away 9 coins. Okay, then you know here is 1 part and then here will be 2 parts. Okay, maybe I should draw this smaller because one part will be smaller than two parts, right? This side is one part and then this side is two parts. So I told you before, if I have two unknown, I want to make one of it to be the same. I either make these 4 units to be the same as 11 units, or I make these parts to be the same. So to make it more easy, because if I want to make the 4 unit and the 11 unit the same, I must times, here must times 11, and then here I must times 4, then the 4 must also times 9. So I want to make things more easy. I just mix the parts the same. If I mix the parts the same, right, I will here times 2, here times 2, and here times 2. And then I will have a new drawing. Correct? Let's do this. This is a new one. Because I know that two parts will be up to here. I will have 8 units. 8 units. Then we'll have 24 coins, right? I just anyhow draw here lah. We'll have 24 coins. And then this will be my 2 parts. 2 parts and 2 parts. Okay. Something you notice. Here is take away, you know. It will be a bit hard for you to do the subtraction here. So I will try to, I don't want the minus. That means I have 11 units, but I still own people 9 coins. How can I prevent myself not to own people 9 coins? So I can do this is, to do this over here I add 9 coins here, I add 9 coins here. You know why not? Because this is 2 parts and then this is 2 parts. So if I add 9 coins here, I must also add 9 coins there. Correct? So if initially I own people 9 coins. I add 9 coins. So now I don't own people anymore. So I just remove this. Correct? Let's say, okay, I own people, because negative is I own people, right? Then I add 9 coins here. So it's like 9 minus 9 is equals 0. That means now I don't own people anymore. Because I return the money, or I return the coins in this case. So over here you must also add, because 2 parts, this is also 2 parts. So now I add in, right, it's no longer 24 coins. Now will be 24 add 9, will actually give me 33 coins. Okay, I can redraw this whole thing to find what will be 1 unit equals to how many coins. Obviously, I know this whole bar now is 11, right? So I just drop away here. Let's do this like that. 11 minus 8 will actually give you a value of 3 units. Correct? Because here is the whole thing here. The whole thing here just now I already show is 11. Minus away 8, here will be 3 units. And then you can see 3 units will be equals to 33. So 3 units equals to 33. So 1 unit will be equals to 11 coins. Correct? Then, as usual, I'm asking for money in the end. What is the money in the end? For the 20 cent coin, will be 4 unit at 12 unit. equals to 1 part, because what is I left in the end is actually 1 part. So 20-cent coin, 4 unit at 12 coins, right, equals to 1 part. 4 unit at 12 coins equals to 1 part. What about the 50-cent? 11 units take away 9 coins equals to 2 parts. 11 units takes away 9 coins equals to 2 parts. So I know that 1 unit is equals to 11 coins. So you can just punch in your calculator. 4 times 11 is 44 at 12. So I have, in the end I will have 56 20-cent coins, but I want to know the money. If I know that 1 coin equals to 20 cents, what about 56 coins? Will be 1120 cents. Okay, so it is actually equivalent to $11.20 over here, times 11 times 11, is it? Yeah, because 1 unit equals 11 coins. So 11 times 11, take away 9 is 2 parts. 11 times 11 is 121 minus 9. So it's 112 coins. Because you know that in the end here, right, beginning is 11 units, take away 9 coins is equals to 2 parts. So here is the end. Here is the end money for the 50-cent coins. As usual, I want to know what is the money. So 1 coin will be equals to 50 cents. Now I have 112 coins. Will be 5,600 cents, which is equivalent to $56. So what will be the total money? The total money in the end will be $11.20 at $56. So will be $67.20. Okay, remember to write the sentence, because this most likely will be section B, the problem sum for section B. I want you to go through and see when you're copying down or trying to do it by yourself. Best is you try to do it yourself, because after you understand it, you try to do it by yourself, and then you will when you try to do it by yourself, then you will know what are the things that you don't understand. Then probably you can ask, or then we can can have a meeting together to clear out whatever things that you don't understand. Okay.